Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Bye Alexis Mac Allister. Liverpool plan incredible 150-meter midfield upgrade. Liverpool have money on their mind again. Watching the 450-meter summer transfer spend was a sight to behold. It was truly extraordinary. The Reds have always been considered one of the biggest clubs in the world, but record transfer fees didn't appear to be something Liverpool would entertain. Under FSG, it's always been about getting value for money and buying talented players that can be developed into world-class stars. We've seen things gradually begin to change recently, with a greater focus on getting the squad aged down so that the club is future-proofed, and naturally, the cost of transfers has increased as a result, but stars like Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak were never on fans' radar once common sense was applied. Nonetheless, the pair are now Reds, and it's taking Arne Slot a short while to adapt to them. Eventually, things will click, and we won't look back. But some players have started to show signs of decline amongst all the carnage we're seeing on the pitch, and plans to replace them are being made. Mac Allister on the way out? According to Football Fancast, one of those players being considered for a departure is Alexis Mac Allister, who might be sold in order to make way for a new 150-meter starlet from the Premier League. In their report, it said, sources tell Football Fancast that Adam Wharton is keen to join Liverpool in 2026, and FSG are considering caving to Real Madrid's interest in Alexis Mac Allister in order to fund the move. The Argentinian is seen as lacking the exuberance that Adam Wharton has in spades right now, with it proving to be harder than initially thought for him to rid himself of last season's injury concerns. Mac Allister is still only 26 years old, and there's nothing to suggest that he couldn't return to his former self once whatever is bugging him has been dealt with. But the interest from Real Madrid is definitely worth considering, with a 100-meter price tag being rumored for him. Breaking the transfer record again with an approach for Wharton is difficult to fathom, but we'd have the money for it. We saw with Isak's move that Liverpool are more than capable of bringing the price down to a more suitable level. But we're still talking about a remarkable transfer fee, even if Wharton is worth it. The 21-year-old Englishman has proven himself in the Premier League, and his potential is massive. But injuries have been a concern recently, and it's a lot of money and stock to invest into one player. If FSG decide to go down that road, then Liverpool fans will be supportive of the decision, but letting a player go to Madrid is never a popular call. And other areas of the team also need major investment. Trent Alexander-Arnold's feelings about Arne Slot clear after quitting Liverpool. After leaving Liverpool to sign for Real Madrid in the summer, Trent Alexander-Arnold will return to Anfield for the first time this week, and he probably shouldn't expect a warm reception. In the end, Alexander-Arnold didn't leave as a free agent because Real Madrid wanted to sign him ahead of the Club World Cup. But the former Liverpool, number 66, still opted to depart his boyhood club in what was a controversial decision. His time in Spain so far has been mixed, largely thanks to an injury, and he spent the last 2 La Liga games on the bench. However, Alexander-Arnold is looking forward to Tuesday's clash. The 27-year-old was full of praise for Liverpool and his former coach, Arne Slot, too. Alexander-Arnold won the Premier League title under the Dutchman last season. As a player, you can sense when you're working with a top manager, and I was fortunate enough to only work with top managers. In my opinion, he told Amazon Prime. You know, Xabi Alonso and Alexander-Arnold, both came to the club at the same time. And it's a privilege to work with him and his staff. And it's been nothing but a dream come true for me. As well as speaking about Slot and Jurgen Klopp, Alexander-Arnold also praised current boss Alonso. I am able to remember how Xabi played and what a player he was, he said. I said to him in the first conversation that we had that watching him and Steven Gerrard when I was growing up made me realize that passing was an art. When they passed the ball, it sounded different. You can hear a good pass. It is the sound when the ball strikes the ball. It sounds differently. It is hard to describe. If you know, you know. He was an idol of mine. He was someone I looked up to, and I practiced a lot of the passing he would do. Even now in training, he shows off his passing. He could still play. The way he sees the game is in a pure form. YNWA.com says, Alexander-Arnold will know what to expect when he comes to Anfield. Fede Valverde could start at right back, but if he comes onto the field, the intensity from the stands will go up a notch. Alonso might be wise to leave him out of the starting 11 as a result. Anything that increases the noise level around Anfield even beyond the norm for a Champions League night would make the visiting team's life even harder. Liverpool transfer news. Premier League star watched as impressive forward-eyed for switch to boost title race hopes. Liverpool's chief scout, Barry Hunter, was in attendance to watch. Fulham winger Kevin during his side's win against Wolverhampton Wanderers on Saturday, the latest report has revealed. The Reds' season has been mixed, as while they won their first 5 games of the Premier League season, they then lost their next 4. Arne Slot oversaw a 2-0 win against Aston Villa on Saturday, though with a test against Manchester City to come next weekend. The club could be facing the prospect of 5 league defeats in 6. The Merseysiders are already 7 points behind first-placed Arsenal, and if they are to reduce that gap, then they may need to delve into the transfer market. Football Insider claimed that the Reds are monitoring 22-year-old Fulham winger Kevin, who started on the left side of attack against Wolves and made his full Premier League debut. Liverpool's left-wing problem. Is Cody Gakpo good enough? Current first-choice left winger Cody Gakpo has managed to score 4 goals and provide 3 assists in 14 games for Liverpool. But while his returns are by no means poor, it is fair to say that he has underwhelmed. The Dutchman has consistently looked to cut inside and shoot, even when Milos Kerkez and Andrew Robertson have provided overlapping runs. While his ability to produce a high volume of shots is admirable, his skill set is often limited and predictable, making him easier to defend against. Many of his goals this season have come about as a result of good positioning and positive work from teammates, rather than opportunities he has produced himself. What do Liverpool need in the January transfer window to catch Arsenal? While Liverpool arguably must sign a winger to compete with Gakpo, adding Kevin to the squad would represent a risk given his limited experience of top-flight football in England. If Slot is to compete for the title this season, it would be more sensible to invest in other areas of the pitch, especially in midfield and defense. The Reds have struggled to deal with second balls all campaign, and bringing in someone such as Elliot Anderson from Nottingham Forest could help alleviate many of those issues. Crystal Palace centre-back Mark Guehi almost signed for the Merseysiders in the summer transfer window, and his ability to play out from the back would make him a welcome addition at Anfield. Fabrizio Romano confirms Federico Chiesa transfer plans. The Italian winger is still trying to get the balance right at Liverpool in order to make things work, even though he's scored twice, and made 3 assists in 335 minutes played so far this season. There seems to be something holding Arne Slot back from playing him on a more regular basis. Of course, the forwards at Liverpool are all of a high quality, and so it's only natural that Federico Chiesa is having to compete with his teammates. But in time, he needs to be rewarded more often. Unless his current situation changes, we could have a problem. And in his latest Here We Go podcast episode, Fabrizio Romano gave an update on how the 28-year-old might be feeling right now. Update on Chiesa's transfer stance. Speaking on YouTube, he said, "It's been a strange start to the season for Chiesa. Also because at the very beginning of the summer window, the plan was to leave. And then everything changed several times with Arne Slot and with the management. The desire of Federico Chiesa is to finish the season at Liverpool and then assess the situation in the summer. When Chiesa goes public and says, 'I want to stay here, I want to compete for my spot,' it's the reality. Chiesa wants to continue with Liverpool. Then obviously, he wants to play. He needs to play. Otherwise, in January, I would not be surprised if Italian clubs return to the table and try again to get Chiesa from Liverpool. They might try, but at the moment, the desire of Liverpool and Chiesa is to continue together. I don't think it's going to be an easy move in January, but interest remains, and we have to follow the game time in the next 2 months. It all appears to be incredibly precarious, and it's only the wider context that can explain his feelings. The World Cup happening at the end of the season appears to be pivotal. In each of the last 2 international breaks, Chiesa has been left on Merseyside rather than playing for his country. That's a major problem, and until Renato Gattuso changes his mind, the updates are likely to continue. Mohamed Salah's start to the season with Liverpool hasn't been great, so we definitely should have seen Chiesa play on a more regular basis than he has done, especially since his fitness issues don't seem to be a problem anymore. He's available for selection almost every week, so why not play him? Liverpool generally have a lack of forwards available compared to previous years because Luis Diaz wasn't replaced in the transfer market, which should naturally make rotation more likely. As such, any approaches made for Chiesa in January would be blanked straight away, without compromise. In the summer, it's a different story. Chiesa is getting older, and it's understandable that he'll want to be making the most of his career, whether that's continuing to try abroad or returning back to Italy. Whenever he's on the pitch, he feels the admiration from the fans, and he always gives his all, so his frustrations aren't shown publicly. But we might see things change quickly if Slot doesn't use him. Liverpool handed update on Marc Guéhi transfer alternative A. As club chief confirms talks, Bayern Munich chief Max Eberl has reaffirmed their commitment to securing Dayot Upamecano's future at the club, amidst rumors of Liverpool's interest in the French defender. With his contract set to expire next summer, the German Titans are bracing themselves for a fight to retain the central defender. Liverpool have been touted as potential suitors for the ex-RB Leipzig man, as they face uncertainty over their options within their own backline with Ibrahima Konaté's contract nearing its end. Upamecano has carved out a crucial role in Vincent Kompany's squad as Bayern aim to retain their Bundesliga title, leading to the club pushing for his signature. The Reds' unsuccessful pursuit of Marc Guéhi during the summer transfer window and recent signing Giovanni Leone's ongoing knee injury woes have amplified their need for defensive reinforcements. But reports are suggesting that Bayern are among the European juggernauts interested in the England defender. Eberl rates Upamecano among the world's elite defenders and is prioritizing securing the 27-year-old's services on a new deal. Upa has developed into one of the best center-backs in the world, he told Sky Germany. We are working and making sure we do everything we can to make Dayot Upamecano sign a new contract. This isn't the first instance of the Bayern sporting director highlighting the significance of reaching an agreement with Upamecano. Following their victory in Der Klassiker, Eberl labeled the extension as a big issue and a crucial matter to resolve. He added, "We have very good central defenders in Kim Min-jae, Jonathan, and Upa. That's the big issue for us, Upamecano's extension. That's paramount for us. If these issues change, we'll look at the market." Liverpool have been grappling with their own defensive problems this season, currently trailing Premier League leaders Arsenal by 7 points. However, they managed to halt their losing streak with a 2-0 victory over Aston Villa on Saturday, marking their first clean sheet since September 14th. Their summer signings have struggled to hit the ground running following the Anfield reshuffle, but it remains to be seen whether they will battle in the winter transfer window for further reinforcements. Slot said after the win against Villa, "Happy with the result. With the performance and what I saw today, not only from the players but also the support we got from the fans, was what we needed today. Maybe we were a bit more on the lucky side than we've been in the last few weeks, where, in my opinion, we were also unlucky. So, the mistake of their goalkeeper and the deflection led to 2 of our goals." Thank you for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.